welcome to the world of perfection. Today I'll be talking about Rango, the 2011 Western comedy film directed by Gore Verbinski. Starring Johnny Depp as a titular character, Rango is a movie about a pet lizard who has dreams of being an actor, with those dreams being seemingly crushed as he is displaced by in a car accident that separates him from his family. Lost in the desert, he meets an injured armadillo who tells him the town of dirt and tells him things about the spirit of the West. Armed with this knowledge, he heads to Dirt and through a series of improbable circumstances shortly after appointed as the town sheriff. Being the sheriff, he is then immediately asked to solve a problem plaguing the town. Where had all the water gone? This problem drives all the conflict in the movie and really relevant to the very end. I'll be rating this movie on its comedy, music, animation, themes, plot, and characters to truly find out how good this movie is and where to stack up relative to other movies. Comedy wise, Rango is insanely funny for a kids' movie. It is a nice variety of visual and implicit jokes throughout the movie and is really funny for all ages. It has a nice mix of adult jokes that have me laughing pretty hard throughout the movie. Johnny Depp did a really great job of selling the awkwardness of Rango, which really enhanced the comedic experience. All in all, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10 in terms of comedy. The music in Rango is really just classic Western music, but I like the way it's incorporated throughout the movie with the owls. With the owls basically telling what's happening in the story and then just, foreshadowing things. The score was also pretty nice and it helped set the tone throughout the movie, so with all that in consideration, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Now on to the best part of the movie, the animation. Rango's animation is honestly unlike anything I've ever seen, and it baffles my mind that 2011 Nickelodeon Studios, the same studio that made the garbage live action Fairly Odd Parents movies, create something so beautiful. Like, I honestly believe this tops any of Disney and DreamWorks animation that I've seen, and I'd be hard pressed to find honestly any animated movie better looking than this. The way the characters look is so detailed and in some cases disturbing, especially how good the Spirit of the West looks. Really draws me into this movie more than any other aspect. It's an easy 10 out of 10. The themes in Rango are actually pretty good. The theme of finding yourself and becoming the person you dream of are prevalent, and honestly, well done. There's also like hints of themes of destiny and not being able to run away from your story that I enjoyed as well, which ties in with the owls and their songs throughout the movie. Altogether, like Rango, 8 out of 10 for themes. I'm not gonna say it's not like life changing, but they are really good and really well made for a children's movie. You know what I mean? The plot in Rango is pretty amazing. It gets really, really dark for a kids movie. Features government corruption. The mayor uses gangs and outlaws to silence people and kill people who ask questions, which is really insane for a kids movie. As I keep repeating, like he essentially tried to sacrifice the people of Dirt for the future because he wants to control all the water. Make sure no one has water, so he can buy up all the land for cheap, so he can expand and build for the future. There's a lot of really well made scenes and a really pretty satisfying ending. And honestly, for that, I'll give the plot a 9 out of 10. Characters are also one of the movie's strong suits. Has a lot of funny and likable side characters. A well made villain, the mayor, as I said before, all around badass, and Snake Jake. When he pops up, I really like it. I like his design and everything. Character design in total is just really good. But on to and honestly, the main character is probably the best part too. From the start of the movie, was introduced. He didn't really know what he was, didn't know what he was doing. He just used his acting with his plastic dolls and stuff as his way of bandaging his hole of loneliness because he didn't know who he was. He didn't have a name. He was nothing. And getting in this town, he uses acting like he acts his way into becoming the sheriff. Like he acts like he's tough and all this stuff. And eventually, when he leaves the town after being exposed as a fraud by Rattlesnake Jake, he achieves some sort of enlightenment by crossing the road and meeting the spirit of the West and discovering all the stuff about the town. And through that he truly like discovered one of the he discovered enlightenment. He achieved enlightenment and realized that you can become you're supposed to become who you want to be, right? Become who you believe you are, become the man you want to be. So for that, I'll give Rango a 9 out of 10 for characters. I guess the only semi nag I have with it is, honestly, which birds can talk, because, there's some birds in town who are like normal people within the town. And a mariachi band of owls that I talked about before who kind of sing and do a lot of stuff. But then there's also like the hawk, which, the hawk doesn't talk or anything. And, there's road runners that they use that are kind of like horses, you know what I mean? But it's more like a nitpick. It's kind of like how in Mickey Mouse there, you know, Goofy's a dog, but Pluto's also a dog. One of them can talk, one of them can't. Stuff, something like that. It's nothing really major. My three favorite scenes in the movie are when he's fighting the hawk and all this crazy stuff happens, and it's like, it's pretty funny. When Rattlesnake Jake confronts him, that was, pretty strong scene in my opinion. Honestly, I love Rattlesnake Jake's character design. I love all about it, so of course I'm gonna love that scene. And honestly, when he meets the Spirit of the West, because Spirit of the West is really well made, and also just helps him discover himself. My overall rating for this movie is a 9 out of 10. And yes, I do believe you should watch this movie if you've never seen it, haven't seen it in a long time, or honestly just want a quick laugh. If you have any disagreements or comments about the video, make sure to obviously put them in the comment section below. And if you have any movies, TV shows, anime, or manga you would like me to review, make sure to reply to my pinned comment with them. This has been Mr. Perfect out.